Uniform Civil Code, UCC. It is the biggest controversial issue in the country now. Is really a biggest controversial issue now? Is it true? Is this Uniform Civil Code is an aim of constitution or this ruling party? Why this confusion? In fact, this Uniform Civil Code under Article 44 of the Directive Principles of State Policy, okay, this is the aim of the constitution to implement it. Okay, the Constitution Article 44 says like this, says that the state shall endeavor to provide this Uniform Civil Code to all people of the country and all areas of the country. To all and to all areas, geographically and to all, which includes all religion, all caste, gender, okay, all races, whatever that one, whatever the creed and differences are there, without these kind of differences and everything should be come under this Uniform Civil Code for all reasons. This is an aim of the Constitution of India. Originally, this was introduced by the Constituent Assembly, especially Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the architect of the Indian Constitution, who tried to introduce it, under the Directive Principles of State Policy. You know, the Directive Principles of State Policy is not enforceable. The government, the state in the latter period should implement through bringing a parliamentary law. Now the ruling party is trying to introduce this Uniform Civil Code bill into Indian Parliament, which is now it is under the monsoon session. Okay, just before the 18th Lok Sabha elections, 18th general election. So everybody is fearing. We should use the fearing, but in fact it is not. It is an aim of the Constitution. If at all it is an aim of the Constitution, why it appears to be an aim of the BJP, an aim of ruling party? What has happened for the last 75 years? Why we could not implement this Uniform Civil Code for the last 75 years? Okay, what happened? What went wrong? Okay, at earlier periods, at the time of partition, while the Constituent Assembly preparing Indian Constitution, led by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as a drafting committee chairman, they decided not to introduce it, which means not to impose on the country. In 1947 to 1950, January 26th, when it came into effect, the Indian Constitution. At that time, the conditions were not good in the country, not conducive in the country. Why? Because of the partition and immediate this bloodbath, communal rights, communal carnage, unprecedented level. Millions of people were dead, exchanged between the Pakistan and India. That's why conditions were not conducive, not cooperative to implement it. Okay, and it was very difficult to get this unanimity, consent of all sections of the people. That's why they put in the Indian Constitution and they left it to the future generations to implement it. Okay, which implies that the Indian people, the Indian state in the coming years should get the consent, unanimous of all the people. So consent of all the sections of the people is essential to implement this Uniform Civil Code. That's why if the ruling party introduced in Indian Parliament, it is against the aspirations of the constitutional framers. So that is the fear. Why? That is why there is a fear now. But this introducing this bill into the Indian Parliament is not anti-constitutional, anti-patriotic. It is in accordance with the Constitution. But in view of these aspirations, implied aspirations of the constitutional framers that has been stated time to time by the Indian Supreme Court, higher judiciary as well. Because though it is the aim of the Indian Constitution, though many people were suffered because of the lacking of the equality as promised by the fundamental rights. However, the Supreme Court could not intervene, didn't intervene into these areas and never ordered, okay, never issued, never commanded the central government to implement the Uniform Civil Code. It was become a mute spectator, but reminded the central government to implement this Uniform Civil Code. In what way? By consent. by unanimity of the all sections of the people. So that is why this is the biggest controversy. So from now onwards, I would like to give a series of videos regarding this uniform civil code, which is a complex. Even well-educated personalities also could not understand the complexity of the uniform civil code. That is why I want to give a series of videos from now onwards regarding the uniform civil code, where I will try to unravel the mystery, the shrouded mystery behind this around this uniform civil code. I will clarify in a layman language, of course, beautifully, with lucidly, vividly. So in what way the questions regarding the uniform civil code are, whether it is a constitutional objective or any political party objective. That is the biggest question now. Okay, next, what is the opinion of the Ambedkar, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on this uniform civil code? And other leaders, the greatest leaders like this Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, Babu Rajendra Prasad, Mahatma Gandhi, etc., how they expressed the opinion regarding the uniform civil code. They are very important now in order to understand this one. That is important. And what is the opinion of the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? This is very important. Why Dr. B.R. Ambedkar determined to introduce this uniform civil code in Indian constitution? Why that he determines? Is there any relationship between his main aim, that is annihilation of caste and uniform civil code? And he wants the women empowerment in the country. Is there any relationship between women empowerment and uniform civil code? So actually, what is uniform civil code? Okay, already we have civil and criminal laws. There is no problem. We have uniform civil and criminal laws across the country. The problem is now we don't have personal laws. Various personal laws that we have now. Christians laws, Parsi laws, Muslim laws, Christian personal laws, and also Hindu personal acts. Hindu, which includes Buddhism, Sikhism and Jainism. So there are 7 religions on the in India now. In India, 7 personal laws are there. Why this lacking of these uniform civil laws? If the uniform civil code came into effect, okay, is it a counterproduct to India's unity in diversity? This is the biggest question now. Okay, if it is a contrast to India's unity, especially diversity, why the constitutional framers introduced this into Indian constitution? Okay, that is the biggest question. Okay, and if it all it is enforced forcefully on the country, is it become a biggest cause behind this violence and huge unprecedented violence and even separatism in the country? Is the country may going for the another partition? Okay, if it is imposed, why the main other political parties are opposing it for? Whether it is a Congress, regional parties, northeastern parties, etc. Why minorities are fearing? Why this kind of? Is it a suspicion, fears and other things? Or else is it genuine or really fear? Why the people are not trying to allay the fears of these people? Why they are increasing? Is it why it is become a tool of politics, bad politics in the country? But however, this is the one of the biggest aim of the Indian constitution and one of the biggest aims of the constitutional framers like Ambedkar, Gandhi, Nehru, Patel, etc., etc. They are not communal. They are patriotic. Okay? These are all these things. I will clarify vividly as much as possible, as concisely as possible in the coming series of videos.